Jenny.
John,
Yes.
we're back.
We are
You
back.
came back for more of what you got just now.
I did, yes.
Bombarded you.
Yes, could you imagine? I actually come back and like such a glutton for punishment. It's unbelievable. So it's not a makeup session. What do you know? We're not modeling.
Fixing my hair.
You do that before the show starts, not once we start.
Pay attention to these things.
What? You just spent an hour in the mirror. What do you mean?
An hour in the mirror. I usually had an hour to have a cup of tea. Okay.
Speaking of tea, I didn't get a cup of tea since I got
Look,
here.
I messed up my hair.
Nobody cares. What's the difference? They care what comes out of your mouth, not what's on your head.
I gotta fix my hair.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Okay, I'm just gonna take over.
Okay. We are back.
For segment 29, part 2?
Yes.
Yes.
We are back with segment 29, part 2. And
Continuing
we
the
are going
dialogue.
to continue the discussion that we were having previously, which is about Tucker Carlson and Russell Brand and all those very good reporters who have been fired, that the mainstream media or the powers that be have tried to cancel. And thank God unsuccessfully this time. Previously, we know many amazing people have been canceled. And if you go back and dig, you'll find out it's always because they were trying to get away from the narrative control and tell us the truth of what was happening, and not the version of the truth that was designed to mislead and misinform us to support whatever agenda was behind the lies and the propaganda that we were being.
You said version of the truth. That's not even like, those two things don't even go together. It's either truth or it's a version that's not the truth. There's no version of the truth.
Pick it apart and say that. But anyway.
No, I'm not criticizing what you said. I'm simply pointing out.
Welcome back to How Can You Say That? This is, like I said earlier, is part 2 of segment 29 and a continuation of a discussion we had earlier.
Oh my God, I just realized. So next segment is our 30th anniversary. Segment 30.
In reality,
Are you gonna have a cake for me? You can have a cake for me.
In reality, we've done more than 30 segments because
the last,
a lot of our shows have been in 2
double,
parts.
right? So we've done a lot. We spent a lot of time together.
Just shows you how much patience I have. But I can sit here with this.
Well, I always say to know me is to love me.
Do this.
To know me is to love me. So the more segments you do with me, clearly.
That does not mean I love you. Don't get carried away.
Just using me for my
No.
good looks, entertainment factor, sense of humor.
I feel like I am so intense because I'm so passionate about what I do that it's nice to have a clown next to me.
Speaking of clown, can I tell you a funny story?
To this.
I have 2 funny stories I'd like to share. And I was going to mention them on the last segment because they had to do with vacation time when I was away and when we were separated from each other. The good solid 7 weeks of fun that I experienced. So I happen to have gone away to San Antonio, Texas. You said you've been there, right?
No, I never said I've been there.
Yes, you did.
I didn't. I said I've landed in the airport.
No, you said you were there with. That's what you told me.
Dallas.
You told me San Antonio. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so San Antonio, Texas, first of all, is gorgeous. There's a place in San Antonio called the Riverwalk, which is, it's like there's a river and they built these canals in between. It looks like you're in Italy and Venice. They have boat rides on there. They have all these shops and restaurants. Absolutely beautiful. So we had a great trip. We're there for 6 days. Trip goes great. Busy the whole time we're there. And then we're scheduled to go home. And the flight is supposed to leave 4:50 p.m. from San Antonio Airport. So, of course, you get a text. Flight was delayed from 4:50 to 5:30. Okay, not the end of the world. Flight's delayed to 6:15. Okay, this is getting annoying. Flight's delayed till 7:30. Okay, now I'm getting angry. Flight's delayed till 8:15. Okay, this freaking sucks. Now I'm really mad. 9 o'clock, we get on the plane. And we're like, finally. 4 hours late, whatever, we're finally going home. It screws up the whole next day because now, there's a time difference and now you're getting home late. I got to work the next day. My daughter's first day back to college is the next day, all kinds of things. So we get on the plane, we're we're all planed up and everything. Our luggage is in there, ready to go. About 5 minutes before takeoff, I see the guy sitting next to me looking out the window going, ooh, that's not good. So I'm like, what? He goes, look. So I look out and I see jet fuel pouring out of the wing on the right-hand side of our JetBlue Airbus plane, pointing out it's Airbus, not Boeing, the American company. And the guy's like, he says to me, he goes, well, I'm not getting on the plane that's leaking jet fuel. So I call over the stewardess. I'm like, look, there's jet fuel leaking out of the wing. She goes, oh, that's not good. And she immediately gets on the PA system, evacuate the plane. Everyone get your stuff. We're evacuating the plane.
You are the one who told her it was leaking?
Well, maybe I saved everyone's life. Better it's leaking on the tarmac, on the runway, than in the air. So we evacuate the plane, and they say, well, we have another plane we can get you on. But we can't get the luggage off the old plane because there's jet fuel all over the place. We're waiting for the hazmat crew. So they're dragging this out, and finally it's like 11:30 at night.
Let me interrupt you, like I always
Sure.
do. If you didn't show her this, you guys would have taken off with the plane leaking?
I imagine that people filling up the plane would have said something. I mean, I don't know. I can't. I'd like to believe that that's not the case and that there was a few lines of defense there before it was just my eyes saving everyone from dying.
Were
Anyway.
you sitting in the wing where it was leaking?
No, I was on the other side, but because the guy was looking out the window so intently, it just drew me over there to look. Anyway, so they couldn't get our luggage off the plane because the jet fuel was there. They're waiting for the hazmat crew. All of a sudden it starts pouring, and they're like, okay, well, the hazmat crew can't come now because it rained and the jet fuel's all over the place. So they had to put us up in a hotel. We had to stay over another night. And then the next day, the flight was supposed to take off at 11. Finally, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it was delayed again. We finally left and came home. It was just the only bad plane experience I ever had from all the years of flying. And it just sucked. But for whatever reason, God didn't want that plane to take off and didn't want us coming home that night. So you just have to not get so mad. But it was just a horrible, horrible trip home that really ruined a really great vacation.
I think God wanted me to have another good day.
What?
Nothing.
What's that mean?
Nothing.
That's some sort of insult against me?
Anyway,
Yes.
good story, John. We're glad you're back safely in one piece. Otherwise, somebody else would be sitting there tonight. And I don't know if I'd be able to take the Mickey out of them as much.
I could probably have a whole line of replacements. You could just,
You better believe it.
Okay, anyway. Last time I
So,
share a story.
we're all dispensable.
Disposable.
Both.
Well, that goes for you too.
That's
Speaking
what
of which,
said.
I have a couple of friends that I used to do a radio show with that would like to restart a podcast, and I'd like to have you on that podcast.
I'm not gonna go and have a bunch of Jewish, but maybe.
Well, I told you the name of what I want to call it. A Gentile and Three Jews. Or Three Jews and a Gentile. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that might be a cute name for that podcast, no? You being the Gentile, of course.
Anyway, can we stick to, so do you have any more stories?
I do. I have a really good one, but I'll get to it later.
Go ahead. Story time, everybody.
No, I'll get to it after.
Sit back and hold your horses.
I will get to it later.
All right.
Go ahead.
So
Mainstream
we're
media
back
rants.
to, listen, I want to make sure that people understand I am not attacking mainstream media, but as a citizen of the United States, a lot of the privileges that I know myself to have as a citizen somehow are being silently revoked. Nobody's telling me, no emails, no memos, nothing. Just suddenly we're finding ourselves in this place of you can't do this and you can't do that. Really?
I have a question.
Really? And we pay so much of our money in taxes. Okay, we said tonight's segment was going to be about previous discussions that we've already had on this podcast, but we are just going over the highlights and the changes that have occurred since we've done the show.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
How long do you think it would be before there is no more mainstream media? That the mainstream media is actually done away with and people get their news right from the source, from the internet or wherever, and they just
To be
totally
honest with you,
bypass.
it's not too far away. In
Do
fact,
you really believe that?
no, in fact, statistics show that less people are watching. And I
Well, I know
think the
CNN's audience is
majority
plummeted.
of, well, go do it. When do you do, This guy
Yes.
is exasperated. What?
CNN's audience, the numbers have plummeted over the last few years.
So that's what we're agreeing. We're agreeing on something.
Yeah, so why are you attacking
Can we
me?
shake? Can we shake? John and I are agreeing on something. We should have some champagne and caviar to
But
go
why'd
with
you
it.
just, when I said that, you looked at me like,
Because I thought I heard you say that it's a complete opposite. That's what I thought I heard you say. No,
you want to
because
apologize now?
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
not so much. Anyway,
Yes.
a lot of people who used to watch mainstream media are no longer watching them. And statistics show that a lot of the people who are still watching them, no offense to older people, I'm an older person, are people that are like, very old,
What age do you start to refer to as old?
like 100 plus.
Oh, okay, fine, yeah. So you're not
And
old then?
they are not,
100
I
plus.
don't care what number I am. I am not a chronological human.
You actually, you look really good for your age.
Oh my God. We're not discussing my age.
I didn't discuss it. I just said you look really good
So
for your
anyway,
age.
they're losing a lot of their followers, which I believe is another reason they want to shut down TikTok, because people have Telegraph, Rumble, TikTok. How are they going to censor all these
Maybe just
platforms?
YouTube.
They tried to tell Rumble that they couldn't allow Russell Brand on there and they couldn't allow him to monetize his show on there. Who are these people
What about Truth Social also, which is Trump's media?
that think they could just control the world?
Well, they're
Really?
defending their territory.
They were controlling
No, they're still trying to defend their territory and to fight off
who is the
competition.
territory?
Well, I'll give you an example. So I work in the financial field, right? So there used to be only full service brokerage firms that service the public's investment needs. Then discount firms came along that offered to do things for free. And the big firms would always fight against that, not because it was bad or wrong, because it encroached on their territory and their revenue. So same thing with mainstream media. No business or business model wants competition that's going to pull their audience and their revenue away. I mean, that's common sense. So it's not that mainstream media believes that these other things are bad. They may actually believe that they're better than what they're doing, but it's pulling away their money, their advertisers, their revenue, their base of people that watch.
So I have a question. Why do they believe that lining their pockets is more important than telling us what's really going on?
Because it's a business and they're trying to defend their
To
business.
keep us ignorant and naive so they can control us? No. The time for that.
Well, you look at
History. We are now aware of what is going on, because I am one American who will never let myself watch any mainstream.
Let me give you another example.
When I visit someone's home and they have the news on in their house, I go the other way.
Let me give you another example.
That's how allergic to it I am.
You're coming at this from a standpoint of thinking like, why not do what's best for the population or what's best for the public, which is a very admirable thing to say. It just doesn't work that way. I'll give you an example. When you have a big box retailer move into a business, all the small businesses that are there are opposed to it. Why? The big box retailer provides better service in the state. I'm sorry, not better service necessarily, but better pricing, which makes things more affordable and cheaper for people than the mom and pop shops, which are much more expensive. So why would they be against something that's better for the public? Because it's encroaching on their business and their revenue and what's lining their pockets and keeping them in business. Everybody's selfish about their own interests.
Don't economics, John. This is
It's fine, Jim.
I wonder why do you have carpal tunnel? Why don't you set the timer?
It's your phone. I don't know your passcode. Actually, I do know your passcode.
How could you know my passcode?
Because I watch you enter it all the time.
I'm gonna change
Stupid 6 digits. You think you're gonna mess me up with 6 digits? I have 4.
But why do you have to watch me when I'm doing this? I don't know.
Because I watch everything that you do. Everything. Every time you do a TV show, I watch it. And I wonder why it didn't include me.
Okay. We have narcissism on steroids tonight. Can we continue the show? So, as I was saying,
Yes.
The problem is, and this is what's going on in the world, it's not to live and let live. We don't have a live and let, we don't live in a live and let live world. We live in a world where, as some people put it, the rich get richer and the poor struggle more. And like you said, the small businesses, they suffer when there's a big business because the big business can afford better pricing. It definitely not better service.
No,
Can I
I
tell
took that
you-
back when I said it, because that's true.
I don't know what's going wrong with the world, but it seems like customer service is one of the things. It's like, it's history. It's gone. Like, I was hit by a bus.
Here we go again with the drama.
Oh,
Your
really?
car was hit by a bus. You were not hit by a bus. Your car was
So,
tapped by a
It's
bus.
okay for John
Oh
to
my
tell his
God.
stories, but I don't attack and
You have to tell them accurately, though. You were not hit. Your car was lightly tapped by a bus.
Okay, I'll be politically correct. I was in my car driving home from work, and a bus, I think, may have underestimated the distance between the back of her bus and the front of my car, and I got whacked. Okay?
Maybe you got whacked because you have such a fat ass that's stuck out in the way of the bus.
That incident, it was, I don't know if it's an East Coast thing, because, I mean, let's be realistic. There's a lot of incompetencies and bureaucracies across the country. But here, it's a different kettle.
In New York, you're talking about.
Oh my God. You don't want to get hit by anything. Because number one, the police does not come unless somebody's dead. And don't tell me what they're going to do with a dead person. But I sat at the side of the road with a bus, a city bus, full of people, waiting for the police for 1 hour, while 911 kept telling me the police were on their way.
Oh, you
And
believe 911?
the police were never on their way. And like the ambulance that was coming to get me, to take me to emergency, took more than 30 minutes to get to me. It's a different world in New York. It's kind of like a zoo. Anyway, when they eventually took me to
New
the
York is
hospital,
mostly zoo animals, too.
at the hospital, I was told to go to the police station the next day to file the report. I'm in a lot of pain. I go to the police station, they gave me a form and said, we don't do this in New York. You can do it yourself. So I am still trying to get my car fixed. I cannot believe the level of incompetence. And as I look at this experience, I'm thinking, we've definitely moved forward when it comes to getting news and hearing about what's happening in other parts of the world. But we have stepped way back when it comes to customer service. I mean, I cannot believe it.
Customer disservice.
Yes, it's almost like people have jobs, but they feel like they're doing you a favor when they have to do their job. And I can't wrap my head around that. Because I'm like completely stressed
Is
out.
it different in California?
It's not this bad. I had an accident in California. Somebody hit my car and it's
You have a lot of accidents.
I've been hit quite a bit in this car.
Yeah.
Not my first car.
Maybe we should change cars. You want to change
I
cars?
think it's time to change the car.
What do you want for that car? It's a nice car.
Agenda.
How much you want for that car? I like that car.
I'm not selling my car on television. Have you run out of material? You didn't do your homework. You don't know what to say.
No,
So
I
you're like,
I just smelled an
"So-"
opportunity to take that car right out from under you. What do you want for it? Write
So-
down a number. Yeah, write down a number. Tell me
Anyway.
what you want for the car. Just put down a number. It's bad luck for you, that
If
car.
you're watching John and I know that you might not agree with some of what I am saying. Maybe you love Fox or CNN or ABC or CBS, whatever you're watching. But I can promise you they're not telling you the truth. And that's because most nights or most people are asleep. I'm doing my homework.
You know what bothers me about you?
What?
Okay, and I'm being very serious right now, okay? You always
Many things bother you about me. So
Yeah,
which
a lot of
one
them, but
do you-
so this is very specific. I'm pinpointing something right now. You always talk about how things are not true, and this is not true, and that's not true, that's not true, but you never actually say, well, what is the truth? You always say to me, you'll find out, or you'll find out, you'll find. How about if you have this knowledge, how about sharing it? and telling me what exactly is true instead of just telling me what's not true.
Jonathan, would you like me to tell you the truth about what? This is a very ambiguous discussion.
Well, because I don't want to.
Talking
Okay, so I'll tell you
John
specifically.
who ran away with the shoe, and the news is saying the kid ran with the shoe, then I could say, no, the dog ran with the shoe, because I saw it here. But
I'm not.
having
I'll tell you. No, I'm not going to generic. It's not. No. It's not generic and ambiguous. I just didn't want to get into what I was talking about, but I'll get more specific. So you and I debate the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. No, I'm not. We're not talking about it. But you always tell me, you'll see. But you never actually tell me what will I see.
I do tell you.
No,
but you know
you don't.
Jonathan, you do not want to do your homework. You are stuck in the place. Like I told you, you have your face in a bowl of ketchup, and you go there every day for all your essentials, and you refuse to pull your face out and go get some mustard. So what else are you going to tell me? The same feeling.
Well, if it's hot dogs, I have mustard with it. I don't have ketchup with hot dogs. Then you're gonna tell me you don't even eat hot dogs.
You're quite mono. Okay.
Mono what?
No.
Mono what?
I decided we're not going to go down this rabbit hole. So we'll change the subject because John and I have some drag down.
I wasn't trying to bait you into a subject. I'm pointing out that a lot of times you'll say things aren't true, but you don't actually say what the truth is.
Well,
with all this homework and research, I thought you would come up with what the truth is.
If you pick a specific topic, I've sent you articles that I've written that you never read.
I don't watch or read anything you send me.
John, you're very monotheistic. And I'll leave it
but wait, monotheistic, does that mean believing in one God?
You believe that there's only
one God. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there is only one. There's multiple gods? What? Like in India, where they believe cows are gods?
No, I'm not going down this. If you want, we can do a podcast on that.
Yeah, I do.
That's not okay. Good, because
that's monotheism.
Yes.
Even the Arabs are on my side on that one.
All right, good.
And so are the Christians.
I'm not here to change your beliefs. I'm not. But I will tell you right now, I am not.
You're not what?
I am not monotheist.
Do you believe in multiple gods?
I believe there are many pathways to God.
Okay, but there's only monotheistic means there's one God.
It means that people believe in just the God that they believe in. Like the Hindus have their God, the Muslims
but they believe in cows as gods. That's absurd.
The Christians have their God. The Christians believe in Jesus.
No. The Christians don't believe Jesus is God. They believe he's the Son of God. Which again, I don't buy into that either. But they still believe in one God.
And this is the point I'm making, John. I don't question anybody's beliefs. What you want to believe?
But Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all have the same belief in one God. That's the majority of the world. So I'm not saying the majority is always right, but three of the world's main religions believe in whatever, they believe in one God.
I don't believe there's a God that's up there somewhere floating in the sky and I will pray to him. And the way that they perceive the God that they're talking about, that you pray to, that you worship, I have a very different belief, and I've done a lot of research.
So what is your belief? This is again the same thing. It's different, but you're not saying what it is.
Okay, we'll do a topic. We'll do a segment.
Fine. Shake on that one too.
Yeah, we'll do a segment on that. And here's the reason why I don't engage in some of these things, because John, it's very difficult to shatter someone's lifetime beliefs, and I have evidence to show you what I believe. And I have a guy who's been on my show and will be coming on again Saturday night, who has traveled the world, who has met with archaeologists, scientists, and he has actually gone to the places where he has come up with the evidence to support what I believe. And he has
not saying what you believe.
Okay, we'll do a segment on it.
That's the next segment. Jennylyn believes belief system. That's our next segment.
I want people to believe what I believe.
No, but I want you to share what you believe because I'd like to hear it.
Of course, we'll do a segment on what I believe. In fact, I'd love to invite Sean on one of these shows. You would not like him because he will shatter your entire belief.
Yeah, okay. Sure. You can't shatter the truth.
Well, this is what I mean. Everybody's truth is their truth.
But there is only one truth. It goes back to what we said before, like with Tucker Carlson. There is one truth.
How do you know who's got that truth?
Judaism has the truth.
Of course.
Of course,
You know,
yes.
John, we said we're not going down this road. And I'm stopping it right now because it will get ugly. And I respect what the Jews believe.
No, you don't. Anyway. You don't. You totally don't. Like, I'm not going to say it. Okay, we'll get into that another time.
Yes, I said you have a superior.
Yeah.
You do.
Well, we are the chosen people.
Whatever.
I mean, you know,
By
God
who?
offered the Torah or the Bible to every nation. No one wanted it. The
Yes.
Jews were the last one he offered it to. We're like, all right, we'll take that. No problem. Yeah, give it to us.
I am
Everyone
stupid.
found out. He shopped it around. I just want to explain. He shopped it around to everyone, and everyone's like, well, what's in it? And then once he told them what's in it, they were like, yeah, no, we don't want that. The Jews were so stupid that we were like, yeah, we'll take that. That's fine. Yeah, give that to us. Give us all these rules and regulations and restrictions. I don't want to be allowed to do this. I don't want to be allowed to do that. I don't want to be allowed to do that. Yeah, give that to me. I think that's a great idea. What idiot accepts that? But we did. So therefore became the chosen people by default because we were stupid.
And I will go back to the topic. We have 8 minutes left.
Okay.
So he's passionate about what he believes. I'm passionate about what I believe, and I don't believe any of what he believes because I have evidence to show the opposite.
We'll present that evidence on another show. Yes,
Yeah.
I understand. Okay.
So the reason why tonight's show was like a recap is because a lot of these things we discussed last year earlier, and a lot of what we discussed then continues to be a problem now. And when Tucker was fired, I hadn't done the research because I don't watch Fox News. I just know the few times I watch, I was listening to him and I'm like, I can't stand that guy. And I turned it off.
What was it that you couldn't
I
stand? Out of
didn't feel
curiosity.
like a lot of people, you know what I'm learning about myself? I have a spiritual gift since I was a child, and everybody in my life knows I have it, but nobody could tell me what it was. But I'll tell you, one of the very blatant parts of it is I would meet people or watch stuff, and I would feel in here it wasn't sitting right. It wasn't feeling right. I would meet the people, and I can name some. Some of them that all my friends will tell you, always said I didn't like and I didn't know why. Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Beyonce, a lot of these people, and my friends will tell
pretty
you,
hot though.
forever I couldn't tell what it was about them that I didn't like. I just didn't know. There was something inside of me that was not resonating with them as people. And there's stuff coming out now if you do your homework.
Beyonce's beautiful though.
You will see, yeah.
What?
Nothing.
I think she's beautiful.
Mhm.
Very, very sexy woman.
You would be too if you were drinking what she drinks. Anyway,
What's she drink?
Jonathan,
Do show on what she
go
drinks.
do your homework. Go do your homework. I'm not here to spoon feed you. Take your face out the ketchup bowl and you'll find out. But anyway, like I said, I do a lot of research. And before I arrive at my conclusion, I verify. So when I do get the picture, there's no doubt in my mind that what I now know is factual. Otherwise, I zip the lip because I do not want to ruin my credibility with people who trust me. I don't want to be a mainstream media reporter. I don't want to sit here and say things because somebody else is telling me to say it. I've done the homework. I've stayed awake when people are asleep doing my research because I have a day job. This is my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So I am sorry to say that John and I are back
Maybe this should be
First
a
you're
full-time
looking-
job.
It should.
So why don't you
Maybe one
switch
day
careers?
I will. Well, who knows? Maybe I will, because this is what I think I was born to do. I was born to be a humanitarian, to bring truth to people.
I'm not a
I'm a
humanitarian.
truth seeker.
I'm not a humanitarian.
We know this.
I'm very into recycling.
You're
but
too
I'm not
selfish to be a humanitarian, Jonathan. No,
I don't think it's selfish.
of course you don't think you're selfish. What selfish person goes,
Do you know what I did in San Antonio?
woman who told me the minute I met her. Just so you know, I'm very narcissistic. You know the person here.
A few names are coming to mind, which I won't say.
It's this person.
You know what I did? Speaking of being a humanitarian, when I was away on in San Antonio,
Mhm.
at the I always stay at Embassy Suites. I love Embassy Suites. Amazing cook to order breakfast,
Are you
fantastic.
selling now? Are
No.
you getting paid?
No,
for
no, no,
this?
no, no.
Okay.
But I gathered up food every morning from the breakfast and I gave it to homeless people when we went out for the day.
So you are a humanitarian.
Only the healthy stuff. I give apples, bananas, stuff like that.
You only like that big and tough.
No, it's
I know
not.
you had to have some kind of a good streak.
Do you know how happy people were?
Be my friend.
Do you know how happy people are? Like you walk over to homeless people, like, "Hey, I just got a bag of food for you." They're looking like, "What's the catch? Like, what's in the bag? Like somebody's gonna pop out and explode."
They're like-
What am I on YouTube or something? Some sort of prank.
Jesus is visiting today.
Jesus the Jew.
A much shorter version of him.
Okay, the insults again. How do you know Jesus wasn't like 4'9"? You don't know that. He could have been a little troll, a little
He
gnome.
was not a troll.
How do you know? There's no evidence to talk about his height or his.
Oh.
Well, you see movies. That's
Okay,
it.
the same way you know what you know about your beliefs.
No, but
That's
the Jewish Bible is real. The Old Testament, the New Testament's all fake.
Of course. Mhm. Maybe it's all fake.
is.
Maybe it's all been written to manipulate and
Actually-
control.
Yes, the Old Testament was.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, the New Testament was because it wasn't written by God, dictated to Moses. It was written by a person.
So you're trying
Stories
to
about
tell
people that
me-
were around Jesus at the
So
time.
you keep going there. So you're trying to tell me the God that's written about in the Old Testament that told Moses to cut his son's head off is the God you're praying to?
Yeah, except he didn't tell Moses to cut his son's head off.
Or
So
to
that
sacrifice-
Abraham was told to sacrifice
That's right, right.
Isaac, but it was stopped right before he did it. It was a test to see about his belief in God. So yeah,
All right.
he had no intention of allowing him to do that. It was a test to see his belief and his trust in God, because that's the ultimate sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice your own son? That's
But-
insane.
But wait, doesn't God know everything? How come God had to test him like that? How come God didn't know?
Because there's such thing as free will, but we'll discuss that on another show.
You think I don't know about
Let's
free
do a
will?
show on that one too.
Jonathan,
Shake on it.
I've studied.
Shake on it!
Get away from me. I've studied my Bible as much as you have studied your Bible.
Yeah.
And-
But you've never studied my Bible.
No, that's what
Why
I
don't you try
said.
that sometime and maybe change your perspective?
Than any religion, John.
Because you don't want to shatter your belief system, that's why, and realize that all of your
John,
beliefs in that
my
regard are all
belief
incorrect.
system has changed over and over because I was searching for the truth. And it's not in any of those
If you were
books.
searching for the truth,
It's
you'd
not
arrive
in
at
a
Judaism.
No, sorry. The
We don't
truth
want
is-
you anyway.
The truth does not exist in
We
religion.
didn't want you anyway.
Anyway, I am not here to be popular. Believe what you want, you know?
Can I go home now? I have things to do.
I'm not aware that I'm holding a gun to your head. Unless I check. you
I'm
know where-
handcuffed to the table. My legs are shackled to the table. That's how you keep me here.
You know where the door is. Anyway, as always, when John cannot get you to see his way, he threatens to run, to shoot you,
No,
to poison
everybody
you.
sees my way. It's just you that won't come around. It's frustrating.
You're sitting closer to the door than I am. So what is your point again? Anyway, I think we're just about out of time, and we are. We're down to 12 minutes. We thank you so much. Those of you who are watching us, you can find us now on Rumble. We are on Telegraph. We are on Spotify. We are on
YouTube.
We are on my website. So
Wait, what is your website? Give out your website.
it will be on the tag.
Conversationswithjennylyn.com.
And I'll have a tag on the video with it. So we thank you so much for watching us. I'm trying my best
Here goes another insult against me.
to bring the bits and pieces that I have researched, but I have to be very careful what I put out here because they've already pulled down one of my videos. Me, I'm just like, I don't even think I have 50 followers, and they're censoring my videos.
What do you mean? You have like
So-
8,000 subscribers. What do you mean 50 followers?
Goes to show how the algorithms are set to keep the truth away from us. And we thank you for watching How Can You Say That? The podcast where we are raw, passionate, and authentic.
Actually, it's a new one. He's inserted in there.
We will be back soon with segment,
Our 30th anniversary segment.
our 30th segment. And we thank you so much.
Can't wait.
And we'll be back soon. Bye.
Good night. Thank you for watching.